Today, we're going to look at one single day on the market that honestly tells you everything you need to know about the economy right now. It perfectly captures the massive and sometimes brutal power of a single technology. Let's dive in. So here's the mystery we're trying to solve. On this particular day, the overall market was, well, it was kind of boring. The S&P 500 barely budged. But if you looked just under the surface, it was absolute chaos. Some of the biggest tech companies were skyrocketing, while others were just completely falling off a cliff. So what was the one thing driving this huge split?
And this right here, this tells the whole story. On one side, you've got this tiny company, Movano, which just exploded, up more than 140% in a day. On the other side, you have the legendary giant Intel, which cratered almost 17%. How does that even happen? Well, the story behind these two tickers is really the story of the entire market.
Okay, so let's start with the winners. These are the companies that aren't just getting by, they are absolutely crushing it. These are the AI titans. Now, this success isn't just random luck. There's a pretty clear formula. First, there is an absolutely insatiable demand for AI data centers right now. Second, they're posting monster earnings reports, which has analysts calling them recession-proof because, companies are going to keep spending on AI no matter what. And finally, they're feeding on the weakness of their competitors.
And here they are, the titans themselves. You see Microsoft, AMD, and of course the king of the hill, Nvidia, all posting really solid gains. While most of the market was just treading water, these guys were surging ahead, and it's all being powered by that same engine, the AI boom.
And just to give you a sense of the insane scale we're talking about, just look at this number, $4.56 trillion. That was Nvidia's market cap. That's bigger than the entire economy of most countries on Earth, all built on selling the chips that make AI possible.
Okay, so for every titan soaring into the stratosphere, there's a giant stumbling. Let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this great AI divide. And this is the number that sent a shockwave through the market, a drop of over 17% in one day. For a company like Intel, we're not talking about some little startup. This is a foundational company in the tech world, and it was in an absolute freefall.
So why? What happened? Well, this quote from a market analysis pretty much says it all. While the AI titans were building the future, Intel was struggling with the basics. They couldn't make their chips fast enough, and their own manufacturing plants were losing money. In a high-speed race like AI, those kinds of problems are just fatal.
The price tag for that stumble was just staggering. $35 billion. That's how much value was wiped off the books in just a few hours. And all because the company basically told investors it couldn't keep up with the insane pace of the AI revolution. It's a brutal reminder that in this game, there is no prize for second place. But the divide isn't just between the huge companies. There's a third group playing in the wildest, most speculative corner of the market. This is the AI gold rush, where fortunes can be made and lost in the blink of an eye.
So, to understand this part of the world, you gotta know what a microcap stock is. Basically, it's a tiny public company, which makes it super high risk, but also potentially high reward. A little bit of hype can send these things to the moon.
Which brings us right back to Movano, a company worth only $14 million, which, for a company like Nvidia, is a rounding error, saw its value more than double in one session. How is that even possible?
The answer is wild. It was a single press release. Movano announced it was merging with another company for one reason: to get its hands on Nvidia's top-of-the-line H200 GPUs. That's it. The mere association with Nvidia's hardware, just the name, was enough to trigger a speculative frenzy. It turned the stock into a lottery ticket.
Okay, so let's pull back. We've seen titans rising, giants falling, and tiny stocks going absolutely bananas. What's the big picture here? What does it all mean?
Well, what we're really seeing are three different paths in this new AI economy. You've got the titans, like Nvidia, who are basically building this new world and getting all the rewards. Then you have the fallen, the old guard, like Intel, struggling to change fast enough. And finally, you've got the gamblers, like Movano, who are just trying to catch a piece of the hype, creating some incredible fireworks along the way.
But when you boil it all down, this isn't a story about a dozen different companies. It's a story about one thing: artificial intelligence. AI is acting like this giant force of gravity, just pulling all the money, all the talent, and all the attention into its orbit. And it's creating this huge divide between those who are in that orbit and those who are getting left behind.
Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. The history of tech is littered with the ghosts of giants who failed to see the next big thing coming. So as AI keeps getting faster and smarter, you have to wonder, which of today's untouchable titans will end up being tomorrow's cautionary tale? It's a powerful reminder that in this world, nobody's spot at the top is ever guaranteed.